right, welcome back to another one here. Right. Now, this is about Jimmy Savile. Right. These two here, Steve Coogan and Louis Ferro, right, are both involved in the Jimmy Savile story. Right. Where one was the Ferro who did an interview with a Savile, and another was the Steve Coogan who used to impersonate the Savile on the Spitting Image show in the 1980s, and then they played the Jimmy Savile character in the play, which was recent, right, a BBC production, right, and also the Ferro was on the BBC as well, right. But watch this piece here, right.
He said that.
Well, no, of course he didn't. Did he actually say that?
I asked him, yeah.
I'm so tempted to do it, but...
It's hard to know. I meant to check with Millie before the tape with him. He said he never actually said that.
Well, no, of course he didn't. Did he actually say that?
I asked him, yeah.
I'm so tempted to do it, but...
So you're talking about, right, basically Jimmy Savile, right, supposed to be a pedo at all these kids, ruined countless lives of people, even killed, children and all this, right, the most horrific crimes possible, right. And these are just laughing, having a laugh. I mean, like, they wouldn't dare, right, if this was real. If what had happened, or claimed would being happened, actually happened, they wouldn't dare do that, because obviously the families and the surviving people will come along and say, how dare you laugh at that, You see what I mean? So basically, the entire operation of the Jimmy Savile thing was basically a BBC operation from start to finish, right? So basically, right, the question has to be, for what reason, right? For what reason have they done all this Jimmy Savile stuff? And now you're looking at the new multicultural society, on the verges of it anyway, right? And so now it basically makes sense why they say Jimmy Savile and Gary Glitter, David Lee Travis and all this type of stuff, right? Basically they were demonising the old society of what was there, right? The old Britain, right? They were demonising the old Britain, which was white-faced, right? And you could obviously argue the fact that these were all Jewish. I mean, Savile clearly was Jewish, right? But they're all white-faced, so for all intents and purposes, white men type idea, right? So basically, so in order to make it more accepting to people, to basically say goodbye to the old-fashioned society, what they knew, right? Then what they wanted to do was demonize it, so that people sort of pleasant memories, of Top of the Pops and Rob's Cartoon Club and stuff like that, right, became tainted by perversion ideas. Oh, I remember Jimmy Savile, great, Top of the Pops, used to love it, and then it's like, in actual fact, Jimmy Savile was pedo. I didn't really like it, though, I didn't really like it. I thought it was shit. I thought he was a creep. That same crap comes into it over and over again. See, and it's basically to bring about this. As you can see, the Muslim idea in that, right, and the Islam idea in that, right. Islam and the Muslim, right. So it was basically to bring about a new multicultural society. Get people to basically, again, it's like a self-loathing aspect, like Anglo-Saxon and Britain and Germany wars, how do you turn Anglo-Saxon race against itself? You make Germany have a war with England, so that's literally an Anglo-Saxon divide, right? It's about turning the mind against itself, right? Self-loathing, self-hate, self-doubt, that type of aspect, right? And then of course, they bring in the new ones, and or at least they're not pedos, And again, it's like if you're talking about the 1970s and the 80s, Gary Glitter, Jimmy Savile, that type of thing was just all over the TV and radio and all that, right? So a lot of people's memories of that time includes these type of people, I mean, of course, whatever you thought of these characters, the they weren't, like what they're supposed to be, the monsters, what they're made out to be now, type of thing, you know. Certainly funny characters, but obviously the mercenary program, really. But basically, when you turn these into PDs, right, it basically destroys people's memories of, as you say, 6s and 7s are low and D in the upwards here. It basically destroys people's memories of this period of time, 70s, 80s Britain, when it was basically where it was a white man's country, and it was a, it was RE type of thing, it was RE. It was better than what it is now, type of thing. So basically, you fast forward into the present day. See, now you see stuff like this. India trade mission were basically giving the country to the Indians. It's just crazy. And this is what it was all about. Demonising the old-fashioned white man's society, right? To make it multicultural. And it's simple as that, really. Now, as you see, well, you might be aware, the politicians are using the idea of smashing the gangs. They use it all the time, smashing gangs. Basically, again, you're talking about Gary Glitter, Jimmy Savile, Rolf Harris, all this stuff. Like Rolf Harris had a club, he's called Moon Club. The Savile had a special club and all this care about gangs and clubs and all this. So basically, what they're talking about when they're talking about that smashing the gangs, is smashing the whites. They're talking about smashing the whites for the new people to come in, so to subjugate, how do smash them, like mentally smash them and destroy them. Right? That's what they're talking about. Smashing the gangs is referring to the actual British people. Now, as you see here, Jimmy Savile's World Record Club. I used to listen to that like on the radio. I remember that. It was called Moon Club, everything like a club and a gang type idea and all that, right? So they created identity with the people, right? The British people, basically. Like belonging to a little club or a little gang or something like that, like all the sort of the teenage girls would have wanted to be in Gary Glitter's gang or something. So they created that identity, right? And then associate that identity with something totally bad, All of a sudden, Rolf Harris is a sex monster, It's complete garbage, But it's the association thing, see? And it's to destroy the whites who are from a certain generation, 70s, 80s. And then you see a predator hidden in plain sight. Sonic, and you see what I mean? It's to destroy the mentalities of the white people for the new people. To take over the land, it's their plan, Again, when you're talking about the parallels between pagan and the gang idea, the pagan people, So it's like the non-transes, the non-Masonics in their program, It's to destroy them, basically. Destroy their memories and that sort of peace of mind and all that, Basically, that type of stuff, these pedo operations was coming around about the same time as all this sort of stuff about these British gangster ideas was back, all the going on about obviously the Korea twins and what was it called, the Essex boys or something, that when they make their movies, So it's like it's all an organised operation mentally. Smash the GanGs, and smash basically the white British, right? Like this was around the same time, right? When they make movies about this, right? Pat Tate is 37 for 777 crew, right? They make movies about this all the time, you've seen them movies, what they make. They ridiculous movies about gangsterism and stuff like that. They make a new one all the time, and this character and another one and all, they make movies about it all the time. Every couple of years they make a new movie about it. This British gangsters idea and all that, which of course is like complete garbage, but it's basically a Jewish version of reality, you know what I mean? Like what they wanted to be in that. You see how this comes into operation, right? It's all going on at the same time. Of course, right, this fair brass, right, started with dancing on top of the pumps. With Jimmy Savile again, BBC, all the way. BBC is obviously the state broadcaster or whatever you call it, Yeah, so you see what I mean? This type of thing is basically to cement the poor power in Europe, right? As you know, Savile was famously meted with a Pope, right? But what other people don't realise is that the Savile name is in with Pope. It's one of the names of popes, right? So here there's one of the Pope called Fabian. You got the Fabian Society. This is all that get their power in Europe, handed over to the same source, which is the Pope, which is basically the Church of Rome and all this, right? It's basically a trans church. Sylvester. See, there's a story about John Angligus, right? Claiming this John was a woman. So there's basically stuff about it. How it's a trans church, right? Catholics see it's a trans church type idea, right? Pope Jude. Woman who purportedly reigned as a man, right? So basically just putting something in about the disguising the trans thing, what they're really about. John Angligus. Papa Juan, I say. Of course, you get that thing with Juan of Arc as well, which is a bit of trans, right? Actual fact, got this story here. Isidore of Seville, right, is a patron saint of the internet. So basically, when you got all internet rumours about Jimmy Savile and all that, see, it's basically to do with that. The black nobility beat is the ones that have the paper or ancestry. Right? And as you say, Savoy, Jimmy Savile. You see, the Savelli family provided at least two popes, Senseo Savelli, Pope Honorius III, and Giacomo Savelli, Luca Savelli. So, when you got Jimmy Savile, it's basically from the papal bloodlines. Cardinal criminals who pick the pups. See?